Hello kids, how are you? Today we are going to start chapter number that is our environment, and the main points are components of our environment, interdependence of different regions of the world, globalization and impact of local events on the environment. So let's start. Students, take the living and cross the non-living things. Here are some things given and you have to take on the living things and cross on the non-living things. Now, component of our environment. All things in our surroundings makes an environment for us. Some of these things are living and others are non-living things. Non-living things like air, water, land, soil, stones, etc. are also called abiotic component of the environment, whereas all the living things of the earth are called biotic components of the environment. Both these components makes up an environment for us. Let's see abiotic components. Land. Land is the place on which we, plant and animals live. The top layer of land is called soil. Soil is made up of weathering of rocks. Farmers grow crops in soil. We also get minerals inside the land. Next is water. Water is very important for our living. We use water for other things like cleaning, washing and agriculture. Plants and animals also need water to live. We get water from rain, pond, lake, river, sea and ocean. Some water is found under the ground and in the atmosphere as water vapors. Next is air. Our earth is surrounded by air from all sides called the atmosphere. Air is the mixture of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and others. Oxygen is needed for our breathing. Animals also breathe in oxygen. We leave carbon dioxide which plants need to make food. Plants leave oxygen after making food, which we breathe in. Oxygen also helps in making ozone layer in the atmosphere which protects us from the ultraviolet rays emitted from the sun. Next is biotic component. All living things on the earth are biotic components of our environment. These components can be of two types, producers and consumers. First, we have producers. Producers can make their food themselves by using different components of the environment like air, water, sunlight, carbon dioxide, etc. Producers are also called autotrophs. Next is consumer. Consumers are living things which cannot make their own food. Some consumers are dependent on both plants and animals for their food. For example, humans and some wild animals are dependent on both plants and animals both for their food. These are also called heterotrophs. You can see producers and consumers. You can see a flow chart showing the food chain. Next is interdependence of different regions of the world. In early days, people did not need many things as we need today. They were dependent on nature to fulfill their needs of food, clothes and shelter. As the population has increased many times, our needs have also increased. We have become dependent on the regions and on other regions and countries to fulfill our needs. It has also affected the lives of the people all over the world. A change in one part of the world puts its effect on the other parts of the world also. Industrialization and development have resulted in interdependence of countries on one another. Countries have started to export and import several things like raw materials, finished products, and services. This interdependence has resulted in an interdependence of environment also. Industrial and natural disasters also have global effects. For example, cyclone Komin, which originated in Bangladesh in July 2015, affected the neighboring countries of India and Myanmar. Here is next topic, that is globalization. The mixing of people, their economy and culture of one country with the people, economy and culture of other countries of the world is called globalization. Globalization makes people interdependent on each other for goods, service and technology and information. Services, technology and information. It influences human lives and their economic activities like trade, industries, agriculture, etc. Globalization has helped in improved transport facilities, advanced technology, industrialization, advanced communication, migration of people and global trade. You can see the picture of globalization. Now let's see the advantages of globalization. It provides a large market for the sale of products and services. It helps in spread of technological and medical advancement. It helps in sharing of knowledge, experience, lifestyle, culture of people of other parts of the world. It helps in improving people's standard of living by increasing employment opportunities and economic growth. People have a choice of buying from a large number of products at lower prices. People get the opportunity to learn from an event taking place at another part of the world. Next is disadvantage of globalization. Globalization has increased the demand for skilled labor, and there is little or no demand of unskilled labor. Globalization has resulted in heavy industrialization and mixing of smoke and poisonous gases in the atmosphere, making it polluted. Local small-scale industries like handlooms, etc., face difficulties in being sold in the global market due to competition. Migration of skilled labor and technical people to other developed countries in search of better jobs and income has resulted in the brain drain problem in developing and underdeveloped countries. Next is impact of local events on the environment. The industrial development in most of the countries has resulted in deforestation on a large scale, causing environment pollution, flood, drought, etc. Natural resources are being used for fast producing of goods in large quantities. Some of the natural resources like coal, petroleum, natural gases are also spent in good quantity. These resources are limited and take millions of years to form again. The increased demand of these resources is going to create a shortage of natural resources in the future, and pollution of air, water and soil is going to create problems like global warming, melting of ice and climate change. Our next topic is global warming. The earth and the atmosphere on it is getting increased temperature due to release of carbon and carbon dioxide in atmosphere and other human activities. This is known as global warming. Global warming causes the following problems. Here are the problems. First, melting of polar ice. Due to global warming, ice in the polar region has started to melt. It is causing an increase of water in seas and oceans. High temperature also causes the permanent destruction of plants and animals in seas. It can also cause flood to the coastal region. Second is change in climate. Start a video. Due to global warming, climate is also changing. Summer is very hot and winter is very cold. The climate change can cause drought, flood, storms and wildfires, etc. Next is extinction of some species. All animals and plants are not able to adapt to the changing climate, and these are about to extinct. Some animals like giant panda, polar bear, snow leopard, etc. are now endangered animals. You can see the pictures of melting of polar ice, flood and snow leopard. Next topic is measures to prevent global warming. We can take the following measures to prevent global warming. And what are those? Here you can see we can use alternative source of energy like the sun, water and wind, which do not pollute the environment. We can also use nuclear energy to prevent pollution and global warming. This can be used to produce electricity. Next is all countries of the world should take united steps to find ways to save our environment and prevent global warming. Now take a look at valued fact. We can keep our lives safe if we prevent pollution from taking place. Now next is awesome fact. Solar and wind energy are not used heavily, although these are cheaper source of energies. Now let's learn new words. Those are components, parts or tools. Brain drain, that is going out of skilled people. Global warming, warming of atmosphere and earth. Next is extinction, dying of animals and plants. Now students, let's remember All living and non-living things in our surroundings makes an environment for us. Non-living things are abiotic components and living things are biotic components of the environment. A change in the environment of one part of the world has an effect on the other parts of the world also. Globalization has helped in bringing the people of different parts of the world together. You scroll. Using natural resources, pollution and deforestation has resulted in global warming due to collection of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's all for this. That's all for today. We will meet in the next class. Thank you, class. Thank you, kids.